So we're back for a food and drink review, and we're starting in Dublin at the Brazen Head.
Yeah, this is one of the oldest pubs in all of Ireland. Everything was exceptionally good here. Very lively, busy atmosphere. We started off with the Bulmer's original apple cider. It's really good, nice and light, crisp, fresh. Has some oaky, appley kind of fall flavors.
And then we had the Kilkenny Ale.
Yep, this was like a red ale. It was very good, nice and smooth. It was a great foamy top to it.
And we got the warm goat cheese and beetroot salad with chicken. And this was very surprisingly good. The goat cheese was creamy on the inside, and the balsamic had a nice drizzle.
Then we had the Guinness beef stew. This was awesome. The beef stew had a great texture, had a great flavor. You could get the hint of Guinness and the stoutiness of that, and then the mashed potatoes on top were deliciously seasoned, really creamy and smooth, and all in all, it was really, really good. And then we also got the seafood chowder. This had big chunks of whitefish and salmon, a little clam in there, and it was delicious. Really, really good, really creamy, really, really nice.
And they do serve it with the brown bread on the side.
Yeah, and then we also had the Brazen Red Ale. This is another red ale. It was nice, smooth.
And then we got the Guinness.
The Guinness is really good. It was classic. I thought it was awesome. It was a nice flavor. I thought it was better here on tap than in the US.
And we got an Irish coffee for dessert. It wasn't too strong. It didn't really feel that much caffeine in it.
No, it was really nice. It was nicely balanced, not too much alcohol.
And then we got the apple crumble for dessert. It had a nice crust and a nice little ice cream on the side.
Yeah, this was okay. It wasn't anything special. I thought the crust was a little thick and the filling was decently flavored. All in all, I thought it was a little dry, but it wasn't bad at all.
And then we went to Bread 41. It is a very, very popular place. You will be waiting in line.
They have some really interesting pastries. This was the rhubarb cup, it was seasonal, and this was a cruffin. We really liked the rhubarb cup. The cruffin was interesting, but just okay. The big star was the pizza slice. Their pizza here was incredible. Really, really good. Completely surprising. We were on the fence about getting it, but wow, were we surprised.
And we also had the morning bun, which had that caramelization. It was really nice and warm inside.
It was caramelized on that side, had a nice flavor. The rhubarb cup was probably the second best, followed by the morning bun. Cruffin, it was a weird kind of flavor mixture. Nice textures, but the flavor on the inside
didn't hit the mark. It was a bit too messy.
Yeah.
And we also got a cappuccino, which was pretty good. Nothing special. And then the Earl Grey tea.
Yeah, a nice little cup set up here and steeping mechanism. The Earl Grey tea was a solid Earl Grey. Cappuccino was smooth, nicely balanced. They were both nothing out of the ordinary. Next, we were at Mulligan Grocers. And this is a really interesting, kind of cool place that we found. They change their menu daily with whatever the seasonal produce and local produce is. It was really good. The inside is kind of more of a modern pub feel. Really nice, really cozy. We do recommend getting a reservation for here because they do fill up pretty quickly, so call ahead and make a reservation or go online.
Yeah, and we started with the MacGyver's medium cider drink.
Yeah, this is one of the ciders that we had read about beforehand that we really wanted to try. It was really nice and crisp. You got some fall flavors in there, had a nice body, and very smooth.
And then we also got the Oh Brother Nightcrawler Milk Stout, which had that like creaminess to it. If you're a fan of stouts, it had that richness, bold flavor.
Yeah, a little coffee, a little toffee, and a little kind of like that dark peatiness, but nothing abrasive, really smooth.
And then we got the cheese board, which was an array of cheeses from all over Ireland, I believe.
Yeah, these were solid cheeses. They had a cheddar on there, they had a Wensleydale, they had farm cheese and a brie. If you're a fan of kind of funky cheese, you'll love this. They also had a goat cheese. The accompaniments were great. And then
we got the White Hog Puka Berry Sour Ale.
Yeah, and this was really good. This was a recommendation from the server. It turned out to be delicious. It was almost like a gauche. It was berry, fruity, sour, and really well balanced.
And then we got the Shawnee's Buttermilk Chicken, with a side of mac and cheese. The mac and cheese was the real star of this. It had that creaminess and the cheese, but I felt that the breading on the chicken kind of fell off too easily, and I wish it was bonded a little better.
Definitely. And the next thing we had was the mussels and fries. They were really good. The French fries were awesome. Nice steak fries, perfectly fried. The dipping sauce with them was really, really good. The mussels were delicious. Local Connemara mussels. They had some shaved fennel and white wine and onion and shallot in there and parsley in the bottom. It was delicious. Some of the best fresh mussels. They were super sweet and delicious. Next up, we had the rhubarb gin sour. This was really surprising. I had wanted to try one of their cocktails because their cocktail program was really awesome, and this stood out to me, and it was perfectly balanced. The rhubarb was a star.
And then for dessert, we got the brown sugar pavlova.
We'd never really had a pavlova. We've seen it on the Great British Baking Show, so we wanted to try it, and it was pretty good. If you're a fan of meringue, you'll probably like it more. But if you're not a fan of meringue, it's still decent. It has a nice crunchy texture with the fruit and the accompaniments and the toppings on top. It was really nice and balanced. Not too sweet, really good.
And then we went to Pog, and I don't know if I'd recommend this place. It was kind of just on a whim while we were walking.
Yeah, we were looking for a place to just have some breakfast and a quick bite.
We started with the pink beet chai, which looks pretty, but I don't know if the taste was really there.
Yeah, I didn't really get a lot of beet. It is pink. It just tasted like a regular chai. It was visually really nice, but nothing special.
Yeah. And we got a cappuccino, which, again, nothing special.
It was meh. It wasn't great. It was fine. It was a little sweet, deflated, not as much foam as I'd expected. I had the breakfast brioche. I asked for the eggs over medium. They were pretty runny, which is fine. I didn't mind that, but their bacon here is more like a rasher, I think, of bacon, which means it's thicker, and it wasn't exactly my ideal bacon experience, but it was okay.
And then I got the Brazilian acai bowl, which is very sweet and cold. I guess that's kind of what an acai bowl is. If you don't want too much sugar in the morning, I don't know if I'd recommend this.
Next up, we're at the Black Sheep. This was a cool kind of local pub. Not a lot of tourists there, a lot of locals playing board games, having a good time.
And we started with actually the Austera Galway Bay Nitro Stout, which is their own stout that they brew themselves. It was very creamy. I liked the flavor.
Yeah,
very rich.
I think it was more effervescent too than the other stouts that we've had. It was really nice and balanced. It wasn't too earthy, it wasn't too dark, wasn't too caramelly. It had that bubbly kind of nitro with that smooth, creamy kind of milk stout body. And then we also had the McIver's traditional dry cider, which was really good. I think I liked it even better than the medium body cider that we had previously. This one was a little bit on the drier side, so not as sweet, a little more crisp, a little more complex. You got a little more of the apple and a little bit of that oakiness.
And then we also got the Stonewell Dry Irish Craft Cider.
Yeah, and this one was good. This is one of the ones we were trying to hunt down. This one was a little bit funky, a little bit complex, almost a little honey kind of notes going on in there. Not super sweet, very effervescent, and I enjoyed it a lot. It was one that I wanted to try while we were in Ireland.
And then I got the classic burger, and I asked for the Irish cheddar on top, and I really liked the cheddar cheese. The burger was fine. It was nothing special, but I would say add the cheese to it.
The fries were good. They came with dipping sauces, which were excellent.
It was a chili mayo dipping sauce for their twice cooked chips.
I got the Galway Bay Austera Stout stew. So this is like a beef stew with the stout that Joel had with a side of mashed potatoes. And this was really good. Super rich and decadent. Really nice, kind of cooked down, dissolve in your mouth beef with that stout that's been cooked down to make the gravy. And the veggies were cooked really well. The mashed potatoes were nicely seasoned. Nothing special on the side, but eating together was perfect.
And then we went to Gallagher's Boxty house, and this was kind of a disappointment.
Yeah, we came here because we wanted to try some staples in Ireland that we'd read about, a Boxty and Kilkennan, and we had seen that this had gotten good reviews, so we wanted to check it out. It's a little bit touristy, Temple Bar area, so there's going to be a lot more people. It's going to be a lot busier. To start with, we got the Irish Red Ale. This was solid, nothing unusually good, but it was a solid red ale. Kind of earthy, kind of peaty, good body.
And I got the chili box too, which I think was not the best choice. I believe this was vegetarian, so I wanted to try this. I mean, yeah, felt very heavy.
We're kind of trying to make tacos out of the Boxties. The Boxty itself is kind of like this potato powder or potato flour pancake. The fries, I think, were a little more successful because the fries are like cut into strips and then deep fried, and they're almost like tortilla strips, but made out of potato flour Boxties. And they're fine. Once again, I don't think they're better than fries. I think they're more like kind of like shoestring fries, or they kind of reminded me of like Andy Cap fries. They had a good flavor, very potato-y, and the dipping sauce was decent. I had the Dublin coddle, which is like a sausage and pork kind of stew, and a side of Kilcunnin, which is mashed potatoes with green onion, kale, and it was really, really good. Those were probably my stars. The coddle was fine. I think it's an acquired taste.
And it did come with a side of bread, which I enjoy.
Yeah, Joelle loves her brown bread. And the butter, of course, was excellent.
But the dessert was probably the star of the place, and we got the Bailey's cheesecake. So if you're a fan of Bailey's like I am, I would just recommend going here for dessert. And then our last stop was the Long Haul.
Yeah, we definitely had been kind of looking for a chill place to sit back, relax, and just have some drinks, have some cider, have some whiskey. So we had a couple of Redbreast whiskeys, which turned out to be really nice. The smoothest whiskey I've ever had. I'm not a whiskey connoisseur or anything, but so usually when I have whiskey, whether it's the higher end or the lower end, it's a little bit abrasive, a little too strong, not as smooth as I like. But the Redbreast whiskey was really, really smooth. The smoothest I'd ever had. Still something that Joel and I would sip.
Taste,
yeah. We would definitely want to sip it. It's nice when it's on the rocks. It's definitely a sipper still, but
yeah, it has a strong taste at first. I think if you're used to whiskey, you'll be like, oh yeah, sure. But like for people who don't drink whiskey a lot, like us, it's like, oh.
And we just had another Bulmer's cider with it. It was nice to have that as like a chaser. It was nice, and the interior of the Long Haul is beautiful. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, be sure to give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to find out when new videos are going to come out. And thanks for watching.